Look how far we've come, all the things we've done. Did it all with love, beauty from the bottom up. All I want is you, you're my favorite view. But there's nothing more, girl, you make my heart beat.
And we are back.
Welcome back, you beautiful bitches.
We just had one hell of a weekend.
I'm still processing it.
I'm still tired as fuck.
I could have kept sleeping.
I bet.
But I don't know what was going on with my body. Did you see me like Frankensteining?
No.
It's like restless leg. I was talking to Bella about this the other day. I have like restless leg syndrome, but it's all over me. So if I don't move my body, it's like an internal electricity buzzing that just the volume keeps going up and up and up and up until I move that limb, and then it stops for like 30 seconds and then it builds up again.
So I don't think I have restless leg syndrome, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because I have that, but it feels, you know how you get those body twitches where like people used to joke, somebody just walked over your grave.
Yeah.
I get that, but my legs kick and I can't control it. Like it.
Oh, that might be it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
So one of us is wrong.
One of us is
or we're
incorrect.
both right, and it's just different experiences
Yeah.
of the same thing. So let's talk about this weekend.
Okay.
What was your favorite part of this weekend?
My favorite part of this weekend was meditating with everybody, doing sound baths.
By the pool or upstairs?
By the pool.
I think that the
Sun was bright, but
the pool was a better experience as a bystander watching.
yeah.
Yeah, it looked nice.
I like being outside.
Yeah.
Adds to the experience of it, I guess.
So we did our round table discussion where we did the group seminar kind of thing where we sat down with every couple, got an hour or longer. Some actually took less time because they didn't really have anything to discuss. But we did that on Saturday. Had a bomb ass breakfast Saturday morning.
Hey.
You guys threw it fucking down in the kitchen. Like breakfast was legit.
Yep. I made biscuits and gravy, roasted potatoes, bacon, and I was going to make the eggs, but I was overwhelmed. So I asked Belle to make the eggs and she did. So she made the eggs. She made some pancakes.
That had chocolate in them.
Yep. Some of them had chocolate. Some of them didn't. And then a blueberry syrup.
Yeah. Home fries, little square potatoes that I like so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys did a great job cooking. Breakfast was incredible.
I love that.
Friday night we had pizza, which was really cool. We had a big long table. Everybody sat down and got to talk and get to know each other a little bit. And Saturday we played a little bit of cards, like some poker.
That felt so good.
It did. It was fun. You guys went to the beach Saturday night and took sunset photos, and I ran home because I had forgotten some shit that I had to come and get, and so I missed about 2 hours of the retreat for that, which is fine because I needed to come back and grab my stuff. My watch died. It happens every fucking time we go on vacation because I'm so used to the other one that I only had to charge every 30 days. This one's every week and a half. So like, yeah, that sucks. But and then Sunday Belle and her husband did the boudoir shoots, and we did one-on-one couple sessions, which we weren't planning on doing. That now I think is going to be a staple.
Yes.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
I think that we really fucking like got to truly help people this weekend. And it was really interesting to see the difference in couples from Saturday to Sunday.
Yeah. Body language, tone of voice, how
vernacular,
they hold space.
The way they talk to each other. Like, yeah. And your homework, brilliant.
My homework.
Your homework. You gave a couple homework, and like that was their whole session.
Yeah.
But because of your homework, they realized they wanted the same thing. They were just approaching it in two different ways.
Right. Not how to fill the person's cup. They were trying to fill the needs the way they would want the needs filled, not how. Yeah, this weekend was wild. I also made goodie bags.
You did. Journals, candles, pen, and something else.
Yep. I included
a jar,
journals, a candle, pens,
and the note jar.
The note jar with little Post-it notes. And I challenged them for the whole weekend to write down things that they are grateful for in their partner and their relationship, things that they've overcome so that they can read it on their way home. A lot of them travel from out of state. Read them on hard days. And I also I bought a deck of cards to like deep question your partner. And there are some pretty good ones in there. I went through and I handpicked all of the cards. The couples got between 8 and 10 cards each.
Got to take pictures of you naked. Yep. It'd be like that.
Yes. My husband did that. That was a good weekend.
It was a good weekend. What'd you learn this weekend?
What did I learn this weekend?
We have to learn something every week. Every time we do something. Like I learned to not leave my watch charger, which will probably happen again because that seems to be the thing. But I learned at other things too. But what did you learn this weekend?
What did I learn this weekend?
That
if Buff Bell and I opened a holistic institute or something, it would do really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice being on the other side of the medicine for people.
Yes, I agree with that.
And being able to help people heal.
I like watching people go through the stages.
Yeah.
Like with the sound bath, everyone would start off in one position that was sitting up, straight, legs crossed, hands, blanket, whatever. And as I continued playing, when I would think like, all right, everyone's done, I need to wrap this up, people start stretching, doing yoga and moving around and laying down and getting comfortable. And I remember doing that. Sound baths and ayahuasca are not the same thing.
No, they're not.
They're nowhere near the same realm. I wanted to say whelm.
Whelm.
I was trying so hard.
Is that the realm of wellness?
I guess
just call it the
whelm. I remember that wanting to get comfortable feeling when you're like, I hate it. Just like when you are truly just getting comfortable, relaxing, releasing tension, stress. Felt good.
My learned lesson this weekend is that I can't do these retreats without bringing a journal.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. That was one of the things that I was coming back for, and I forgot it a second time.
Oh no!
So next time we go, I will be packing completely the night before, and then doing a final like necessity bag.
Mm-hmm.
And that necessity bag will be the things that I need to work while we're there. So like I'll have my journal, my pen, all of my note keeping things, anything that I might think will be a benefit to the people that we are coaching, so that I have extra supplies, I guess you could say, because there were a lot of times where I wanted to make notes like while we were talking, and not just to have them to like bring up points, but to give it to them after the fact. Like, this is something that I feel you need to work on. I also realized that my handwriting is really fucking sloppy.
Yes.
So that's probably not going to be a thing, but
I can do it.
Yeah. And just transcribe my script to your script so they can read it. Zach said, Chris, you have 384 bags. Make a retreat bag with journal pens, etc. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I have one of those nutsack bags, the crossbody satchel bags, that I'm just going to fill up with it'll be my medicine bag.
Yeah.
So that I can keep all of my important stuff with me when we do things like this, because I do view as what we did this weekend as medicine.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to take this down that realm. It's going to be like a long conversation.
Fuck it. Who cares?
I think I want to bring like essential oils and incense next time and really do it up.
Should I buy the incense that Gabriel used while we were doing the cacao ceremony in Costa Rica? Because I found those. I won't ever burn them in our house.
No. I want there's a 2-pack of incense at the shop. The one that we burn here.
Yeah. One is white cedar and the other one is white sage and San Paulo or whatever.
I want the white cedar one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get good at playing my hand pan. I want to play my hand pan. So I'm going to be like a traveling circus.
One size fits all healer.
Yeah. Gotta get good at moving my energy, doing the thing.
I'm hurting already.
I believe it.
This is that was the downside of this weekend, was the pain from all of the chairs. So for those of you who are watching this after the fact, we are recording this on June 23rd. We are currently recording this in front of our Patreon community, our Discord community. We have 81 people watching right now, which is a record for our stage, which is nice because it's nighttime. We normally don't work at night.
Right.
All right, guys, as you know, there was a TikTok scare. We lost the app for a whole 12 hours, and we have no idea what the future of the app looks like. And with that, we are very concerned about the loss of our following. We have amassed almost 3 million followers across that platform with all 4 of our accounts. And we are trying to push people to other social media platforms so that in the event that anything happens on one app, we have multiple other backup plans. If you want to make sure that you're not missing any content, we highly recommend that you check out our Patreon.
On Patreon, we have multiple tiers to choose from. Starting at $10, you begin to receive exclusive content. At $15 a month, you get access to our private Discord server where we've amassed an absolutely amazing community of supportive people. And beyond that, we have other tiers to check out, along with my 2 private women's group, if that's something you may be interested in.
Guys, on our $15 and higher tier, you have access to live recordings. We record all of our content 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week, live in front of our Patreon audience, where they are able to chat with us while we're recording. They get to see all the flirting, the outtakes, the hot topic conversations that never actually make it on the podcast. And it's really worth that aspect in itself. We have an After Dark where we sit down usually once a week and have a glass of bourbon, or in Peach's case, a glass of wine and a bowl of cheese. And we have a whole lot of fun conversations, karaoke in the Discord. We finish the lyrics. We literally just hang out, and you guys get to hang out with us. There is a host of other perks, including Zoom calls that are coming for the ultimate tier. So that if you guys are having problems, you can talk to us. It also gives you the heads up on private meet and greets, because when we travel, we try to meet up with people on our Discord on a regular basis. There's a whole slew of other perks that come through Patreon. I highly recommend that you check it out.
The best way to support what we are doing is to share the content. The second best way is to check out our Patreon. Thank you guys for being here.
And we are going to be doing couple email updates. One of them is an update, the one that we read and then reread from the military person, and the one who decided that she didn't want to have kids with her wife anymore. They sent a follow-up email together where it was like her side, like each side. And then we got another one from a couple, husband and wife as well, that are in the looking for advice folder, which is super exciting. Dang said, when's the next one? The next one's in August, but it's sold out already.
Yes.
We may open another one. We did a lot. We did a whole lot this weekend and learned a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
And because we learned a lot this weekend, we're pretty gung-ho for the next one. We have to figure out a couple of things to make it work. We've decided that moving forward, we're just going to pay for the meals. Like the entire food situation will just be included in the trip instead of just 2 of the meals. There's quite a few things that we still need to hash out, but I'm really excited for the next one.
Me too.
I think that every time we do this, we're going to get better at it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it doesn't mean that this one was bad by any means. I think that we really fucking helped save marriages this weekend.
Yeah.
And change perspectives. I'm very excited about the way the weekend went, but
update from my wife and I from 6/17 unedited Patreon video.
I love that. That's the couple that doesn't want kids anymore. And they both wrote in.
I love that.
It's going to be a doozy.
You ready?
Yes.
Dear Chris and Peaches, hello. You read my first email back in November of 2024. And then again today on June 17th.
Yeah, sorry about that. That one either didn't get moved.
Don't know how that happened.
Or it just got duplicated. But either way, we felt like you needed some extra attention, so you got it. The irony is, though, is the responses are very different. Because I went back and watched the original read.
Yeah.
And from November 24 till now, we are not the same people. Like our responses were very different, and the way that we spoke was very different. It was a very different response video. We were evolving.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was in a good way.
Yeah. Do I sound smarter?
I think we sound better. I think that all around we sound better. There's a whole lot of healed that's happened since then, and there's not aggression, and we have learned so much. So saying that we sound smarter is not all encompassing. That's one facet of what we have. Yes, you sound smart.
Yes, thank you. Could you feel that's not what I asked? Simmering. I wasn't a Patreon member back in 2024, but I decided to join in January of this year to keep learning and growing. I got a notification from Patreon today letting me know that you had posted an unedited video. I clicked on it and started listening to it while I worked. I'm still running my home daycare business. And I find it comforting to have grown-ups talking in my earbuds while I manage the toddlers. I immediately recognized the subject line of my email and was surprised to hear you reading it again. It felt almost like a miracle, like maybe I needed to hear it more than once.
Or maybe we just really fucked up.
I was already thinking of sending another email to you to give an update and to show you that I've grown since my first email that I wrote.
I love that.
Which was August 27th of 2023.
So it took us a year to read her first email and like 8 months to read the second and like a week and a half to read her third. Hey, our timing's getting great.
It is. It really is.
The reason that we're reading this one so quickly, guys, is because if you send an email with your person and you both write in with your perspectives, you will get skipped to the front of the line because these emails are the most productive.
Priority.
It's like your TSA pre-check.
I was just going to say. No way we're connected like that.
Yes, we are.
I love TSA pre-check.
Fucking Carrie, when we went to Costa Rica, didn't have her TSA pre-check thing, and we were just standing there waiting on her to get through TSA.
I could feel her panic.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to stand there and wait like a comforting mom in her eyesight. So our flight wasn't for like 3 hours, but I wanted her to know I wasn't getting on the plane without her.
I texted her. I was like, God, we're going to miss our flight now. She's like, are you serious? I was like, no. I was like, no, we have like 2 hours. You're fine.
This is the literal yin and yang of parenting.
Yeah. I'm totally a ball buster. Shit's funny.
We can really talk about anything.
We can.
That's fun.
Yep. Life is good.
Continuing, my second email was sent March 11th of 2024 as an update. Now it's June of 2025, and I received an email on June 17th from Janae asking if I had any update. Well, here is the update from both me and my wife. The first part of the email is from me, the original emailer, and the second part is from my wife. I want to fill in the blanks of what has happened since I sent the update email on March 11th, 2024. I will say it does not shed a good light on me. However, I'm no longer that person, and I feel the need to share this to help others. When we arrived at Fort Irwin, the only positive thing I had going for us was that she wouldn't be deployed. However, the first year of living here, our second year of marriage, she went on rotations to the box, also known as the desert, with her platoon, and did rotations for 19 to 14 days every month where they workshopped, where they worked nonstop in the desert heat. I dove. What?
You're just struggling over there.
Yeah. I thought, so we drove home today from a weekend of pouring energy into others and watching love and healing, and it was just fantastic. I'm exhausted.
It's a lot.
And I scheduled an Awaken Woman's call today.
Bet you won't do that again.
Never again. And then I had to deep clean our daughter's room because I put that off until today.
Bet you won't do that again either.
Never again. But her room looks fantastic. The feng shui is so much better. I was there's shame here. This is why I'm laughing.
Shame. Ding.
Ding, ding. I was really just about to look at you and go, I really had an exhausting day. Do I have to go and pick up the dairy?
Yeah, that's the deal.
No, baby me.
Yeah, you slept for like 2 hours when we got home. Or since we've been home.
It wasn't restful.
You still slept though. I watched 4 episodes of Handmaid's Tale. I finished off the season.
Really?
Yeah.
4 episodes? Then it wasn't 2 hours.
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
Those episodes are about 45 minutes.
Justice for Peaches. Stop it. That's funny. I dove headfirst into work thinking it would be helpful, that making money would help us. To answer your question, Peaches, I felt guilty that I enjoyed only having to take care of myself after a long work day because I got to enjoy downtime and air conditioning while she worked her ass off for us in a physically demanding job as a platoon leader. She was sleeping in her track vehicle and simulating war in the desert with other units who were about to deploy. So perspective, if she didn't want to be living that life, she wouldn't be.
Or this is guaranteed income.
Right.
And a good future. So she's sucking the fuck up to get things done for the future.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Good elaboration.
Mental high five.
Wait, can you? Why am I having such a hard time? This way.
It's done already. It was a one-time thing. I did it. We fucking hand out there.
Okay. She has an end goal. So, like my husband said, if she's sucking it the fuck up and doing the thing. It's because she needs to get through this to go to where she wants. And that's worth it in her opinion. You guys are allowed to have your life paths and not feel guilty about it. You could go be an underwater welder.
It's actually a really good paying job.
Right, if you want to like match that energy. I'm not trying to be 150 feet underwater in the middle of nowhere. That's terrifying to me. Right? But if you want to not feel guilty because you have a cushiony job, go get a hard job.
But why feel guilty? Why feel guilty about that anyways?
The easy job? Why? Because that's what she chose.
This is the life choice.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why not just be happy that you guys are thriving in life?
Mm-hmm.
Perspective.
It is. I'm really hung up on the easy versus hard job. AC versus manual labor.
Well, I mean, we've talked about that a lot over the last 3 years with the blue job, pink job thing.
Right. But like feeling guilty about having an easier job, I don't want to go get a harder job. Like
Right.
I'm enjoying the life that I have chosen for myself. And if you're not giving me shit about it or giving me a hard time, and if you were, then maybe a conversation about talking to me nicer.
Yeah, well, in the event that happened, there would be a resentment that would be built up for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think guilt would happen. I think resentment would. Right? Like you would start to, that would create a whole lot of problems.
After 1 year of living in Fort Irwin, my mental health had really gone downhill. I knew that living here was temporary, but each day felt worse than the one before. My 1 ounce of hope was that my wife had a really amazing SCO, a boss, who knew she wanted to pursue medical school and pulled her from her job as a platoon leader to an office job. I thought having her home would help our marriage, as reintegrating each month when she came home from the box felt nearly impossible.
I don't think that, I can see how the reintegration process from being military to home and then military to home, especially being that you're military more than your home, I could see how that could become problematic. But I would think that the time missed would be the thing that balances that, right? Because if I was gone for 19 days out of the month, I would miss the shit out of you. And I would try to make the best I could of those 11 days.
Right.
But I also know like how hard it is to come home from being incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that's not a 19-day thing, but I know that that's very similar with military personnel coming home and
The reacclimation.
yeah.
While her office job was more relaxed and meant that she was home more, it did not fix our marriage the way I thought it would.
No, because you guys being apart wasn't the problem.
Right. So just being in each other's proximity is not going to fix anything.
Mm-mm.
It's the conversations that are going to happen while you're in each other's proximity.
Yep.
So that's a new thing, that just being near each other more is not going to fix your marriage.
Yeah,
like having a baby.
Right.
Right. You have to actually interact, have the conversations, hold space for each other.
Without the effective communication, being around each other more is going to make things worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More irritants, more, I can't believe they're breathing right now.
Yeah, I can hear you chewing, bitch. You know that was actually a really big part of our weekend, was trying to find people's communication style and to translate their needs to each other. You guys think that you can communicate, and to you it might look like effective communication, but to your partner it looks like attacks or a foreign language. The dots aren't connecting.
Right.
Takes work. Check-ins.
Check-ins. Good ones, yes. I think I heard someone talking about that. The first time I got a good look at you after you trimmed your mustache, and it looks very good.
You said, "Are you eating your mustache?" while we were in the car. I said, "No." I was seeing how long it was and if I needed to shave it or trim it.
I looked over, and you went, I was like, what are you?
I was pushing it off my lip because I don't like it when my hair touches my lip.
Like, you got stuff in there from breakfast? What is
Why are you judging me?
I wasn't. I was admiring and enjoying you and trying to understand. I don't have that. There's nothing up there for me, so I never do that.
You might as well have been like, "What are you doing over there, you autistic fucker?" I'm not autistic.
Oh gosh, I almost had an autistic meltdown this weekend.
Jenny said, "The fuck you're not."
It was the sandwich thing.
Yeah.
I was already so overwhelmed. And like, we're 12 people standing in a kitchen dining room area, and we're trying to figure out lunch, and boudoir shoots are happening, and we've already done 2 mentoring sessions. And one of the gentlemen there was like, "You want subs?" And I was like, "Yeah, sub sounds great." And I was in the mindset, we're all gonna get our own sub. Because you're like the Italian, and dude's like a club. And I was like, word, jerk turkey, let's go. And then I hear party platter. and everything in me went, huh? Because on a party platter, you can't customize it. There's going to be things I have to touch, and I'd rather just drive somewhere and get something else
You
to
actually
eat.
said that. You're like, I will just drive somewhere and get my own food.
Yeah, my husband hit me with, "Do you want the party platter?" I felt so bad saying no, but I was like, I have to say what I want, or I'm gonna hate it, and I'm gonna hold resentment, and the weekend's gonna be weird. No, I don't want the party platter.
Funny.
Yep, that was a lot. Continuing.
Yes.
Christmas 2023 was the first time my brother-in-law came to stay with us for the holiday. It was not my first time meeting him, as we had met a few months prior when he started college. I was a shitty wife, I can admit that now. My abandonment wound was so big that it almost cost me my wife. I ridiculed her constantly behind closed doors, and it was clear I was not her priority. I felt like I wasn't her priority because I watched her spend hours and hours staying up and talking to her brother and sharing their common interests. I don't remember Christmas of 2023. If I try to recall anything, it's black. All I know is that I was a shitty wife. And my brother-in-law noticed. He asked my wife during his first time here if we were okay and if I didn't like him. Hearing this now, I think it has more to do with how much I hated myself back then. Starting in January of 2024, my wife avoided me and stopped telling me important things, so I began reading her journal entries to try and learn her thoughts and feelings that she bottled up. That's how I found out she was reconsidering having children with me because of her fear of how I'd handle being a mom.
We've touched on that a whole lot.
Yeah, we didn't know that in the other emails, though.
Yeah.
That it was read through the journal. I thought it was a conversation.
Yeah, I did too.
Do you want to touch on anything that we just read?
Can you read the journal part one more time? Because we side railed and now I don't remember what was read.
Starting in January of 2024, my wife avoided me and stopped telling me important things, so I began reading her journal entries to try and learn her thoughts and feelings that she bottled up. That's how I found out that she was reconsidering having children with me because of her fear of how I handle being a mom.
I view that as a very big violation of trust.
I agree.
I think that journals are such a personal thing that like you should never pick up somebody else's journal.
No.
Pretty rough.
How would you feel if I read your journals after you passed away? Is that still a thing? Should I like burn them?
I don't know. You can't ask me that right now. That's not where my head was at. That's just caught me way off guard. I'd have to think about that.
Okay.
The only thing that you would find in my journals that would upset you would be my depression days. But I don't really have a whole lot of those anymore. Like if you went through journals that were pre 5 years ago, it would probably scare you. It would probably break your heart to know how fucked up I was. But I think now, I think that you would just find a lot of me trying to make our life better, trying to work through things that I may have done wrong in our relationship. Like I don't think it would bother me. You make yourself upset?
I did.
Why?
I can't tell you now or I'm going to keep crying.
You're already crying. It's not a podcast till you cry. We expect it.
Oh gosh, I feel it. I'm going to say the first word and it's just going to go.
How are we switching roles here? Just cry through your conversation. You do it all the time.
Right, but this is going to be an ugly cry.
It's okay. I'll get you tissues.
Okay.
You have a
God,
couple
you're
right
so
there.
Supportive. So I love seeing you as happy. And that's, in the beginning you were depressed, but I've pretty much only seen you as happy. And hearing that there was a point in your life where it was that bad just sucks.
You knew me during that time frame. I just, in public, you put up a facade. You got to. The downside of being a man is people don't give a shit about your mental health or what your problems are, Gracie Ellis said it would be like reading a book about your life through his eyes.
Oh, man. Are there good things in there?
Sometimes.
I was in denial then about this. I didn't want to hear that I was a problem. Chris, you said both times when you read my email that you did not like how I said made up all these excuses.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I said that both times.
Yeah.
Which means it really bothered me. The way that you speak matters. We have said over and over and over again on the podcast that your thoughts become your words become your actions, and your actions become your life. So saying things like made up situations or things like that, you are really putting a whole lot of negativity bias into your existence, and like you shouldn't be doing that. And if you would have said that in front of me, I'd been like, why do you feel that? Because what you just did is invalidated everything that your wife has told you.
Yeah.
The way that she feels. So you're saying that because you don't view it that way, her reality doesn't exist to you. How invalidating is that? How hard would it, how bad does it suck to feel like you're really truly not being seen by the person that you're supposed to be in love with?
Continuing. The woman I was then felt that was unreasonable of you to say about me because you didn't know what I had been going through. But now, well, I think it was a fair statement, and while it hurt to hear that I was a problem, it gave me the push I needed to continue on my own healing journey.
I love that.
My wife did confide in me that she was scared to have kids with me because of how I was struggling with my mental health, and she couldn't leave our kids with me to be a stay-at-home mom in the mental state I was in. Now we are just content with it just being us, our cats Milo and Stevie, Milo and Stevie, and our new puppy that we rescued at the end of the month, whose name is Freya. So if your wife was worried about your mental state and being at home with your guys' children, how were you operating a daycare?
Good question.
If your own wife is worried about those kinds of things, I would like to know that as a parent. If you need a break or a different career, that's okay. Due to my wife wanting to pursue becoming a doctor, perhaps even a surgeon, we have delayed kids until she is no longer in medical school or residency so she doesn't miss out on the formative years of our children's lives. I'm just saying, I don't know how accurate Grey's Anatomy is, but from my understanding, medical school's like 15 years. And then it's nonstop for interns, and then residency and on-call and 24-hour shifts, especially for surgeons, depending on what she's a surgeon of.
I don't know about 15 years, but I do know that the more certifications you get, the longer you're in school, and people become lifelong students because of it.
Yeah. I'm not saying don't wait until then or that it's a bad idea. I think that it should just also be considered that how long is the schooling going to take? How long does she have to apprentice for or intern for or whatever that looks like? Residency. Gather that information now, because if she doesn't want to miss out on the formative years, she graduates from medical school. You guys are in your late 30s at that point.
Yeah, it makes adoption a lot more of a viable option than becoming a birth parent.
Right, and then you get that baby, and then for the next 4 years, she's working insane shifts, overnights, because she could be sleeping during the day. So
could be.
There's more than one way to miss out on those formative years.
Jenny said 3 years med, 2 to 4 years residency, depending possible 2 years fellowship for highly skilled areas. I'm 80% sure. It's just work. It's one of those things that when you decide to do something like that, you have to pick your career path. You're never going to be able to dedicate your life to both.
Yeah.
You can either be a really good parent or a really good employee. You can't be both. We had a conversation with somebody over the weekend about selling your time because they wanted to do things and they were in a slightly unsafe work environment, and like a job will come and go. You can always find another job, especially if you're a good worker. And putting yourself in a position where your life is disrupted because of your job, you're in the wrong fucking job.
Once I started therapy in February of 2024, I realized how deep the trauma really goes and who I learned those things from: my mom. In April of 2024, I wrote 3 separate letters, one to my mom, one to my dad, and one for my aunt and her wife. I told them I was getting no contact for my well-being, that their negativity and shame about me, my wife, and our marriage was no longer going to work because I no longer wanted a relationship with them. Writing the letters was the easy part, addressing them and sending them in the mail, knowing I was losing my family. Although bad, it was all I'd known was the hard part. I got a response from my parents, which was manipulative, and I tucked away their letter and continued to focus on myself and my marriage. I couldn't heal in the same dirt that I'd been abused in. Moving across the country wasn't enough to fix me. I had to cut myself out of the toxic dirt to start a new, fresh soil. Christmas of 2024, my brother-in-law comes to stay with us for 3 weeks. I was a little more relaxed this time since I spent the past year learning, healing, and growing in therapy. I scheduled 2 bed rot days where I watched my favorite movies and shows and focused only on taking care of myself. I love that.
Me too.
Bed rot days are nice. I didn't stress out about the cookies or Christmas dinner or doing everything perfectly. I remember this holiday, I relaxed, I was calm, I enjoyed my favorite holiday. Then I watched how my wife began hiding her phone from me, how she never left it unattended. I reassured myself that she knows where I stand on cheating and resisted the urge for days to go through her phone. I didn't know what broke me, but something did. One night while she was asleep, I took her phone off the nightstand and hid in the bathroom with the lights off. I knew her password just like she knows mine, and I went to her text app. In the search bar, I typed in my name to see if I was coming up in conversations with friends. It was too late to go back. I disagree with that. Do you mean like it's too late to go back, like you're this far into doing something foul, so you might as well just keep going?
Or maybe she saw the search results and it was too late to close the phone because she saw that her name had been coming up.
Maybe. Continuing, I knew it was wrong. That's why I hid away in the dark bathroom. She was talking to our mutual friend, let's call her Jane. There were numerous paragraph-long text messages between my wife and Jane about me. About how my wife is wondering at what point she goes through with a divorce, at what point she calls it quits for her own mental health. They both ridiculed me for sending my wife information on her avoidant attachment style. I put her phone back and went to bed knowing that I had broken my own heart, but at least I wouldn't be caught off guard when she decides she's done with me. Anything before I continue?
That's horrible.
Yeah.
The betrayal there between the mutual friend, like all of that, like that.
That's not a mutual friend.
No, it's not. No, it's clearly her friend, not yours.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's a lot to hear. I couldn't imagine you taking my phone and running into the bathroom to read messages. I would just give you my fucking phone. Like, but the trust has to be there. And like knowing that she wasn't trusting her wife, like that's all you need to know. And we've said this shit over and over and over again. And I get so much hate for that. If you feel like you need to go through your person's phone because they're hiding something and you can't just have a conversation about it and look for change of behavior, just leave. Mm-hmm. The trust is gone. Nothing's going to change at that point because you don't fucking trust your person.
Right. Continuing.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to tell her that I went through her phone, but only after I talked to my therapist about it. I wanted to be honest about what I had done, but I wasn't sure how to bring up the conversation without making her defensive. I relayed the text messages to my therapist while sobbing. I had changed and was doing better, and why would she choose to talk about our marriage to people outside of our marriage because I wasn't doing that? We started marriage counseling after I told her that I was done. She changed her phone password and withdrew from me. I told myself that I'd give our marriage another go, but if I turned 25 and we were still not okay, I was going to leave. Our current marriage counselor got us through that, and my wife finally forgave me a few months later. I'm glad, right? I'm glad that that breach of trust was forgiven. What about
the betrayal
on her part, right? Your forgiveness for her talking shit about your guys' marriage to a mutual friend.
Right.
Continuing, we were rebuilding and growing together. My wife was worried because, in her own words, said she did nothing for us. I told her she was wrong because she stayed. She was patient. She found us a marriage therapist that worked for us. She gave me the time to get my mental health together. We are happy. We planned a trip to Disneyland. I planned a boudoir photography shoot, and we were rescuing a puppy at the end of June. Like we do almost every Monday evening, we sat down for our marriage therapy appointment. This would be our last session before we went on vacation for 2 weeks. I was thinking we would talk about our new puppy and that overall it would be pretty chill. However, our therapist wanted to continue our conversations from a previous week. I didn't want to have this conversation knowing that it would ruin our vacation. So I want to pause there for a second, right? Because it's your therapist's job to therapize, right? So things that were brought up in the last session, I think is pertinent for the next session. How did this go? What does that look like? I think wanting to go into a therapy session and just talk about the puppy and avoid the hard conversations because it could ruin a vacation. I don't know. That doesn't sit right with me.
Right.
Knowing it would make my wife withdraw from me, that it would put our relationship in danger again. The conversation was about the possibility of my wife's brother coming to live with us and how I felt about that possibility. For some context, he's 19 and was in college for the past 2 years, but is now unable to go back for his 3rd year of college due to a large debt that his parents are not willing to help him with and that we cannot cover either.
Why can't he cover it? Because he's 19 years old.
Right.
It's nobody's responsibility but his.
Right.
Your parents paying for your college is a a nice thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not their responsibility.
Right. I agree.
Okay.
Continuing, we drove to visit him in May and learned about the $46,000 debt he was in. At first, my wife believed it was because their parents didn't pay the bill or file FAFSA correctly. After looking into it and talking to her mom, it was because he had failed to go to the financial aid office before starting his 2nd year of college to talk about loans. Oh, that would all be on him.
I mean, it's all on him anyways.
Right. It is. That would be like if I was a people-pleasing parent or family member and I didn't know how to say no yet, that would be the moment. Yeah. All you had to do was go to the financial aid office. I get it's inconvenient. People want to be lazy. Now you owe $46,000. Crazy. Continuing, he doesn't want anything to do with his parents and has cut them off. He will have to take time off from college and work to pay off his debt before he can continue his education. My wife feels responsible for him. She delayed her application to med school due to this because right now she can help him out financially a little bit, but once she goes to med school, we will not be able to give him any help.
So she's willing to put. I have a whole lot of problems with this.
Yeah.
Let's be very realistic for a minute here. You're married. Your union comes before everything. You want to have kids one day. Part of the stipulations to you having kids one day is your wife going to medical school.
Yes.
Your wife putting off medical school means that you may not have kids someday because her brother was too big of a fuck up to go to the office to file the paperwork that needed to be filed to get him through college. So she now feels responsible and is disrupting your entire existence as a married couple to make sure that a grown man is taken care of.
Yes.
Got it.
I think that would be the line in the sand for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you need to choose?
Yeah. Knowing that I want children, this is something that we're working on and we're trying to better our marriage. The last thing we need is somebody else living in our home and disrupting what we have going on.
Right. One who's already proven that as an adult, he's not capable of taking care of himself.
Yeah.
People got to hit rock bottom. You got to let a motherfucker fall flat on his face and pick himself back up. All people do by enabling people like this is they are making sure that that person continues that behavior for the rest of their fucking life.
Yeah. It would suck to be put in that position, knowing that my spouse wanted to move a sibling in and take care of them and put off having kids and all of that. It would be difficult. It would be heartbreaking. You know, when you marry someone, you expect them to be the person for everything in your life.
The whole point of getting married.
Right. When that starts to shift and you recognize that things don't align the way you thought they did, it is gut-wrenching. So I would ask myself, what is more important to me? Is it my wife and supporting her and getting through life compromising? Or am I going to wake up? Like I said in the last time that we read this, are biological children a big deal? Are you okay to adopt? Because after, 35, I would be worried about the deterioration of my eggs. And then after the age of like 38, 39, I wouldn't be willing to have kids due to the birth defects that can happen.
Right.
So at that point, you're limited to adoption. If you wait until you're 50, suddenly, you're going to be 70 when your kid's 20 if you get a
Right.
baby.
And that's if you're able to live that long.
Yeah. And the adoption process is a very long one, very tedious one, tumultuous.
I understand that every once in a while somebody needs help, right? I'm not saying that we shouldn't help people,
Right.
but there's a difference between calling and being like, yo, today's that deadline, or I just paid all of my bills this month. I got sick. I had COVID for 2 weeks and I missed 2 weeks of work and I'm fucking short on my electric bill. Can you loan me $200? Like, I understand that. I don't understand going, hey, my life is really fucked up. I owe 50 grand and I need a place to live. Can you take care of me? Like, as an adult, that shit goes out the window. And maybe it's because I've been on my own for so long, but like, I've got too much fucking pride for that. I'm going to kill myself doing what I got to do to take care of me because I know that's nobody else's responsibility. It's insane to me.
I would say my wife handles stress really well, but in these situations with her brother, we are both forced into a parental role because my mother and father-in-law do not check on him.
No, you're not forced into a parental role. You're making a decision to take care of a grown fucking man who's not taking care of himself.
Right. Also, wasn't he the one who cut off the contact with the parents?
Doesn't matter. He's an adult.
Right.
They're choosing this.
Yeah. I'm not going to check in with my 19-year-old every day and did you get this done? Did you get that done? Remember, you have a dentist appointment. Like at that point, you need to keep track of your own things.
Right. Do you need me to wipe your ass for you?
Right. Our children are going to be keeping track of those things by the time they're 16 here. You have a vehicle. So if school ends at 1 p.m. and you have a doctor's appointment at 3 p.m., you need to be aware of that. You're driving yourself to it.
Right.
I agree. They are not being forced into the role.
No, they're choosing it.
They are choosing it.
I really don't like that shit. And it's not just the emailer. If you are a grown man over the age of 18 years old and you're still dependent on other people to function, you're a boy still. You're a boy, Damon. That's just not okay to me. I don't respect people like that. There's not a spot in me where I can be like, oh, I'm so sorry for you. Because all of the decisions that you've made in life has gotten you to where you are. This is a you problem.
Continuing. They don't fly out to help him move out of college. For his past 2 years of college, that has fallen to my wife and I because we are only 6 hours away from him.
So he needs girls to come help him move furniture?
That's one of those things where I understand that having children are your responsibility. And when they are minors and they are in your household and they have a sick day or something happens, that takes top priority, right? Once the child moves out and becomes an adult and starts living life on their own, I am not going to drop what I'm doing at the drop of a dime to figure out flights and all these other kinds of things if it's not an emergency situation. If I can make it work, I'm going to make it work. If I cannot and you need to ask somebody else to help you move, I'm sorry. I'll buy you guys pizza for lunch or something. Some type of support's still going to happen, but I'm not going to, what are you going to say?
They're 6 hours away.
Yeah.
There ain't no support there. You're in college. Find one of your college buddies to help you move and rent a U-Haul. If our son was in college and this was his life, I wouldn't help him. I need money to move. Tough shit. You didn't go to the office. If you would have went to the office and did the financial thing like you were supposed to, you'd still be in college.
Right.
You fucked this up. You get to deal with the consequences. This is choice theory. You have a choice. You can go to the office or you can not go to college anymore. You chose not to go to college anymore. This shit is nobody else's fault but your own.
Yeah.
Now, if little man went to the financial aid office and was having a hard time filling out his paperwork and was like, I need help filling out the paperwork, I got you. Nothing wrong with asking for some help because you're doing the work. I have no sympathy for life like this at all. This shit just really fucking rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. Continuing.
Yeah.
He was nearly homeless after his first year of college because while all the other college kids have parents come and pick them up for the summer, he would rather be homeless than go back to his parents' home.
So he's okay with the parents funding things and doing life for him, but doesn't want to deal with them in any way, shape, or form?
Right, doesn't want to be around them. Okay, so him being nearly homeless was a choice.
It was.
He could have gone back to the parents' house. I don't know if there is massive abuse happening or what is the cause for him to not want to be around them. But he made that choice to be nearly homeless and live on the streets. That was a better option in his mind than going back to his parents. And I agree with my husband. How can you expect parents, right? Because there's a level of disrespect happening on both ends if this is how he's acting. How can anybody expect, I don't want to be around you. I'd rather sleep on the streets of the city than come and sleep in your home for summer vacation. I fucked up. Can you give me 50 grand?
Right. I've made the decision to be homeless over going and being at my parents. So I understand that. But I'm not asking for other people to take care of me at that point. I made a decision, and as a man, I'm going to fucking figure my shit out.
Yeah.
Jenny said that this gets made more clear in the wife's email.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop harping on it and just stop. I think that I've made my disdain for people's acting like this very clear. I don't like it.
Okay. Continuing, he wanted to stay in the city where he goes to college and continue his work-study job. So my wife paid for him to stay at a local hotel for about a month so he wasn't on the streets. Then he went to a summer job that provides living accommodations. Now this year, my wife paid for a company to come in and pick up his boxes from his dorm room and store them for the summer. Okay, so he's working. Where is that money going? When I was in a bad spot financially, it was my own doing. And I've talked about this a couple of times on the podcast. I could have gotten myself out of the situations that I was in financially if I had just saved money. But I was so depressed and so anxious and needing that dopamine hit that I would buy here and there on Amazon. Go to Walmart and give the kids a couple of toys every week because I'm parenting out of guilt. I was not smart financially with my money. And if this 19-year-old brother is buying Xbox games and new shoes and all the things he's fancying, but he can't put money towards the loan or pay to store his things or pay for a hotel room, that I would have an even bigger issue with what's happening right now. Make sense?
Yep. You know how expensive it would be to pay for a hotel for somebody for an entire month?
An insane amount. Even at a low budget, $89 a night hotel room.
Crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And until he hits rock bottom and people let him fail, he's never going to do it for himself because he doesn't have to.
No.
I think this is a huge problem with society right now.
Mm-hmm. Continuing.
Yep.
I was planning for us to go visit the sequoia. My mind wants to say quinoa, and it's not quinoa.
I think you're right the first time. Sequoia National Park?
National Forest, yes.
Yeah.
But we had to go check on him. I cleaned his dorm room kitchen, and we brought him to his friend's house where he was staying before his summer job. Now there is a possibility that because he cannot return to college in August, that he has to come and live with us.
Doesn't have to. That's false statements. This is why vernacular matters.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to. You saying that means that you've already submitted to that, and because your wife is willing to make that decision, you're putting yourself second. He is a grown man. Let him be fucking homeless. See how long that lasts before he gets a job and gets his fucking shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Or he'll choose to be homeless for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And that either way, it's a choice.
Mm-hmm. Back to the email. My wife reassures me that he doesn't want this. He doesn't want to be a burden on us. Okay. So in my mind, if that were a true statement, he would not be asking for $50,000 help. He would not be asking for you guys to pay for a storage unit. You would not have to clean the kitchen for him in his dorm room, right? So I don't believe that. And I don't laugh at that because I think it's funny. I laugh at that because I can't find a better way to put that. And I feel a little bit shitty saying I don't believe that.
Well, I mean, it's believable when you say things like he doesn't want to be homeless, but he doesn't really want to be there either. And it's the better of two options, right? Is it the ideal situation? Would he much rather be like just rich and be able to do whatever the fuck he wants to do? Because that's a much better option. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
But the reality is this might be his only option besides having to go and get a job and do the hard thing. And this is way fucking easier.
Mm-hmm. Continuing, I fear that my wife will end up persuading him into coming to live with us because he has no credit and will likely not be able to afford rent. So Monday night when our marriage, okay, I want to pause here for a second. If his behavior is a reflection of how he was raised by the parents have failed. Now, I don't know how accurate that is because they have a daughter, the sister, who is the emailer's wife. She's not homeless.
Right.
Right. I'm sure that she had her own struggles growing up. You know, people in the same environment and having the same experience will not have the same outcome from that experience.
Right.
And I get that as well. And he's a boy, she's a girl. They were probably treated differently.
And yet she joined the military and is going to medical school.
Right. And he didn't go to the first aid office. So
Right.
I guess I'm trying to find leeway. I'm trying to find excuses, I guess. Sympathy, empathy, I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
What validates or what would be the acceptable reason to help somebody in one of those situations? Because I do think that there are circumstances that if somebody that we cared about called, I would help. But I think that those circumstances are very few and far between, right?
What if they called us and were like, we need money?
Right. Or I'm fucking homeless.
Yeah.
Right. Because we have a spare building on our property that people could come and stay in. But like, they're not encroaching on our life because they have their own bathroom, their own building. Like they don't need to be in our home. They're literally just staying on our property. But even that is an inconvenience.
Yeah.
So what is the acceptable life circumstance where you're willing to help somebody?
A freak house fire.
Right? That's a good one. Completely out of your control.
Yeah.
How about a divorce?
A divorce, a burglary, and you don't feel safe. And you need some safe area to figure out what you're doing going forward. Things that I will not accept. I blew my house up making meth.
Okay.
You're not coming
Context to why the house burned down. Got it.
Right. Yeah. My mom won't let me live in her house with my 12 dogs. Well, you're not going to live here either.
Right. The point that I was trying to make is there are extenuating circumstances where sometimes things happen that are completely out of your control.
Oh, yeah.
Because the universe has a way of doing shit to you. And it's doing shit to see you grow. It's going to put obstacles in your way to make you better. And if you quit, you're never going to get better. So in a situation where somebody's house burns down or there's a divorce or there was a death in the family and the house was already behind on payments and that's where they were living and they had no choice but to vacate the premises. These are life circumstances. I would be willing to help. In the burglary situation, I will buy you some cameras.
Yeah.
Because that's less of an inconvenience to me than you being on my fucking property.
I would also accept like if someone's spouse is abusive.
Right. Let's get you out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You are safe here.
Right.
I got a mean husband and a dog. Let's go.
Yep. I'm not mean.
You can choose to be.
I'm not mean. I just don't tolerate bullshit.
Yeah. You're mean sometimes.
You
Sometimes you hurt my feelings.
Yeah, it's not intentional though.
Right.
But if I was mean, it would be intentional.
Is that what the definition is?
Yeah.
Did Oxford say that?
Your feelings being hurt and me not intending to hurt your feelings are two different things. There's a difference between you being scared and me being scary.
No, let my feelings be over facts right now. Don't do this.
Doesn't work that way, babe.
I know. That's why I'm asking nicely.
I truly don't believe that I'm a mean person. I may be passionate and I may speak more boldly and more honest than most people prefer, but it's because I expect the same in return. If I'm doing something wrong, I need someone to call me on my bullshit or I'm going to continue fucking up. But I am also not somebody that's going to stand by and allow somebody to be hurt or bullied or picked on. I think that makes me a sheepdog and not a wolf.
Yeah.
And, scary husband privilege is there, but that's not a mean thing. That's just my appearance.
Yeah.
Although my fuck you wrinkle's going away thanks to that Forge cream that I've been putting on my face.
That beef tallow, not sponsored.
No, but it's fucking incredible. Hey guys.
But if y'all want to reach out.
If you are a man and you don't want wrinkles and you're looking for like men's like face care stuff, I have never in my life done a face care routine ever until the last 3 weeks, and my wrinkles are getting decreased. And it makes me feel better about myself not looking like I'm fucking 50. And it's called, if you go to tryforge.com or Forge Skin, something like that, it's beef tallow and it smells amazing.
It does. It smells very nice.
And I don't make shit off of that. Like, that's just a product that I found that I fucking love. And I went back and ordered a whole bunch of their shit.
Mm-hmm. I like smelling it on your face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a win for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it makes you get close to me.
So Monday night, when our marriage therapist asked me how I felt about the possibility of him moving in with us, I said I don't want anyone to live in our home, that I believe sometimes you need to fall on your ass to learn. I watched my wife become angry at me.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. She's not going to like this even.
No, she's not.
Not going to like this response. I watched my wife become angry at me. I know it sounds harsh, but it was how I was raised. I know from a young age that if I wanted to escape my abusive home, I needed to have a plan and money. Mm-hmm. So I went and got a job at 15 and worked throughout high school and while I was pursuing my college degree. Yeah, we agree with you on this one.
Yeah. I'm willing to do some really, really fucked up things in life to not ever go back to where I was. Mm-hmm. But there's a point of my survival that's involved in that.
Yeah.
That's the rock bottom.
Yeah.
That's the no one's coming to save you mentality. Mm-hmm. This life is yours to live.
Yes. Continuing.
Yep.
My views on this are colored because of my father repeatedly helping my 30-year-old cousin with money and even at one point letting her stay in our guest room for several months, causing my parents to fight more than normal. I watched him put her first and forget about me and my mom. My mom would say, must be nice to be his niece, brother, friend, church member, etc., because he treats them better than us. He prioritizes them over us. I vowed at that moment that I would never let someone put me on the back burner and not prioritize me.
Good. That's the whole point of marriage.
Right.
We don't have to do this shit alone anymore because we are one.
Mm-hmm. So even at the possibility of my brother-in-law moving in with us, I knew I had to shut it down. If I didn't, I would surely lose my wife in marriage. I would no longer be her priority. I knew it had upset my wife with what I had said because she avoided me Tuesday. She continued to avoid me Wednesday when she came home from work by hiding in her office. I had errands to run that evening, but after my errands, I asked if we could talk. My wife yelled at me, and it made me happy to see her show so much emotion. We both said some out-of-pocket things that night, and we both raised our voices. She says that she will be able to love us both because I'm her wife and he's her brother, but I have my doubts.
Does that matter?
If she's able to love them both?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's irrelevant to me in this conversation. This isn't about love. This is about we are not okay right now. We haven't been okay for a while, and bringing in not just a third person, but a third person who also is not okay is going to cause a lot of disruption. And if it boils down to your brother having a crisis one night or you and I having a crisis one night, which one's going to get tended to?
How about you know that this is going to disrupt our marriage, and this is something that I truly do not want. And if you do this, you're picking them over me.
Right.
And you're showing me exactly where I land in the priority of our life. I'm real fucking big on not being put last.
Oh yeah, no, that's not going to be a thing. I'm scared I will end up in a parental role to him because he doesn't have his driver's license or a lot of real world skills.
Wait, he's 19 and doesn't have a driver's license?
No. I was so excited to get my driver's license.
Do you remember that freedom?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me?
Could you imagine not having a car? I would live in my car if that was my last resort to make sure that I had a car. Like, that's more important to me than a home. Absolutely fucking crazy to me.
I think if the wife continues on the path that she's on, brother will probably never move out. And I agree. I think that it's going to be the massive explosion in the marriage that causes things to fall apart. And she's enabling his poor behavior. He is not going to become a man if he always has somebody to fall back on and take care of him.
Why would he?
Right.
If you could be a child forever and have somebody else support all of your whims, why would you want to be an adult? Being an adult sucks. Right? Bills, fuck that. Mortgage, credit, debt, like
Cleaning.
Yeah.
Multiple times a day.
Right.
And on top of all of that, I have to wipe my own ass.
Make your own doctor's appointments.
My gosh. And I have to make sure I maintain those doctor appointments.
Right. I want to be an adult was the dumbest fucking thing I ever thought when I was a kid. You know, when I had a good life as a kid for a little while anyways. So before we move on, just real quick, this email with all that we've read sounds like the two of them are so misaligned that this isn't going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
Okay.
I hear that in here. There's a lot of big life choices that are not seen on eye to eye.
Right. And that's what I mean by that. Like their values and their life wants are so vastly different that the resentment's going to continue to grow and build because neither one of them are going to get what they want out of life.
Right. Continuing. My mother-in-law taught my wife about money, credit scores, credit cards before she went to college, but did not do that with her brother. So while the government may see him as an adult, I do not. However, I'm not ready to step up and parent him or allow him to live in our house. While he's not a bad kid and genuinely just hides away in his room, I cannot stand how it changed my wife's and I relationship dynamic.
He's an adult. The fact that he doesn't know about these things has nothing to do with the parent. Yes, the parent should have taught him these things, but he's a fucking adult now. And with YouTube and Google and fucking Chat GPT and all of the things out there that can teach you how to function, there's no reason for you not to know these things other than your blind negligence to figuring out your fucking life. I don't know how to do this. Cool.
Right.
I know now how to do this. How do I get a driver's license? How do I apply for college? How do I get a grant to open my business? I heard on TikTok that there's a $50,000 grant for new business owners. How do I get that grant? There's no excuse anymore for anything when it comes to knowledge other than you lack due diligence to learn your shit.
Discipline. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't want to fall into that parental role either.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that I'm okay and that we are okay and that our future family can make it.
We have to be the priority.
Yeah.
Or we're not going to make it. I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that all it takes is one person in a marriage to put somebody above their spouse and the marriage is done for.
Yeah.
Because you show them in the moment that when it really comes down to that ride or die situation, you're not ride or die. You're here because it's convenient.
Continuing.
Yep.
Well, now it's Thursday and we are driving to Las Vegas for my boudoir shoot tomorrow while I'm writing this email to you. We have both calmed down and apologized for raising our voices at each other. I explained that I need some time to explore my personal feelings about the situation with my personal therapist, but that won't be until we return from vacation. I'm trying to be level-headed here and logical because I'm unsure why I'm so triggered at the mere thought of him moving in with us. I'm not sure this is the update you expected, or this is not the update you exactly wanted, but it's the one I have to give. I will continue to explore what makes me feel like my wife cannot love and prioritize me if her brother comes to live with us. I know this will require some self-exploration. For now, though, we are trying our best to enjoy our vacation time, and thank you for reaching back out for an update.
Okay, before you move to the update from the wife, Bubbles in the chat said, I'm teaching my boyfriend that it is not shameful to be taught things by YouTube. I'm going to rant it'll just be quick.
Okay.
We live in a society where men have failed to become mentors to young boys. There is so much that has fallen through the cracks that we have no choice but to learn from these other things. There are actually channels on YouTube.
How to tie a tie.
Right.
How to unclog a toilet.
How to fix the drain.
Yeah.
There are channels that are like The Absent Father or whatever the fuck that channel was that had millions of followers of just some dad teaching kids how to do things that they should know how to do that their parents failed to teach them. How to change a tire. Dad, How Do I is a fantastic YouTube channel. Thanks, Abby. But that's one of those things that, like, as somebody who is at 44 years old, who has had successful businesses, who is semi-retired and is traveling the world, I get on YouTube every fucking day. Every day I'm on YouTube for hours researching things. I now know more about real estate over the last 3 weeks than I've learned about real estate in my entire fucking life because I have goals.
Yep.
There is nothing wrong with being on YouTube or Googling and getting on the internet to look things up. And if your pride gets in the way, you have much bigger problems than your lack of ability to learn. That is for all of you fucking men out there. You will not be a capable leader. You will not be a good father. You will not be a good man. Your ability to gather information and make good decisions rests solely on your ability to learn new shit.
Mm-hmm.
You learn by any means necessary.
Yeah.
In rant.
And deep breath.
Yep. That's passion, not anger, by the way. I want to grab people and shake sense into them lovingly, like bear hug and just shake the shit out of them.
Yeah.
You're worth so much more than this. Get over your fucking self.
Right. Wife's email?
Yep.
All right. Hello, Chris and Peaches. My wife had previously emailed you for advice. I have taken a listening occasionally, and you have always have some conversation-provoking thoughts.
That's the goal.
That is the goal. You have certainly helped us have the difficult conversations that would otherwise have been quite tense. As you have heard from my wife, we have struggled for the past 3-ish years with communication and understanding. I struggle with effectively communicating my feelings surrounding whatever issue we are having. I am a solution-oriented person. I do not use my emotions to arrive at the solution, and this was a point of contention for us. My wife did not feel like I felt anything when it came to my emotions, and for a long time I did not. I have since grown through my own individual therapy. Emotion, as annoying as it is for me, is necessary for a connection.
That sounds like a sociopath to me.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Choosing to not feel emotions
Mm.
makes you a sociopath.
Sounds like disassociation.
I mean, it can be, but that is a sociopathic behavior.
Do you want to touch on anything communication-wise?
Can you just read it again? Because there was something and I didn't stop you because you were doing so well.
Dang. I struggled with effectively communicating my feelings surrounding whatever issue we are having. I am a solution-oriented person. I do not use my emotions to arrive at the solution.
Okay, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
She failed to communicate effectively, but she is a solution-oriented person. So you can't come to a solution if you cannot effectively communicate unless you are dominating and saying that this is the way it's going to be because I said so.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what I wanted to say.
Okay. Continuing, I also struggled with making my wife a priority. She often said that it did not feel like I was. However, when I asked what that meant to her, she did not have an answer, nor could she tell me what it meant to her.
Well, she did in therapy right before you guys went to Vegas.
About not having the brother in the house?
We know that because it was in the email just now.
Yeah. I did my best with what I could. I continued to plan dates, spend as much time as I could within the confines of my job while also juggling prerequisite. I know it. I knew that. Do you believe me?
I do.
Okay. That's just
I get it.
prerequisite.
Similarly. Similarly.
Oh, thank you so much for doing that just now.
I can't say the word in my head. It's right. But
Right.
the tongues just don't do the thing.
Similarly.
Yeah.
Similarly.
See?
I like similarly.
Similarly?
Simmer down.
Simmer.
I love you.
I love you too. It be like that sometimes.
It do be like that.
Rural. Cinnamon. Abdominal. See, I can do those. Those are easy.
Abdominal.
Similarly. It's just, I can't do it.
Cinnamon. Rural. Is that wrong? Why are you
No,
giggling?
because we just side railed hard as fuck over us not being able to say words, and the chat's now in it.
Worcestershire.
5 bowls of boiling oil is a bitch. All right, let's get back to this.
Okay. While also juggling prerequisite.
We already got there. Why did you go back to do it again?
Because I got to do the sentence. Prerequisite classes. to apply to medical school and studying for the MCAT. In those moments, I felt as if I was doing all I could. I was exhausted, but I love my wife. I wanted her to be comfortable. I wanted to understand why we kept going through it. My body is getting uncomfortable.
I have also been doing this shift. At one point, I realized that my leg was hanging over the back of the chair and I was sprawled out like, paint me like one of your French girls, Jack. And I was like, oh God, I really need to sit up. That's so unprofessional right now.
I'm not going to lie. I was thinking back on yesterday. I was like, maybe sitting on the floor in a blanket hoodie, leaning against a beanbag wasn't the most
best
professional.
Idea. Yeah. It worked though, because everybody was very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Continuing. Our first marriage therapist was not great. She made me feel like I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't trying hard enough to make our marriage work.
Did she make you feel that way, or did she point things out to you that made you realize you weren't doing enough?
A good question.
Right?
Yeah.
Because nobody can make you feel shit. If
Right.
they're pointing out your flaws and they're holding up a mirror to your ass, that's the reality of the situation.
Right. Continuing, I struggled greatly juggling exhaustion, work, and my marriage. Somehow we managed to graduate from that therapist, and we were still in the trenches. This is to say, we are still having similar issues to when we started. My wife even noticed the amount of work she had placed on me, which we discussed much later. I was going to wait. I was going to give it some time so we could go in person, so our house did not feel like a place of continued anguish. I reached out to Jane, as my wife refers to her. Jane had been our next door neighbor before she moved. She had watched me cry over wine, worried that I would not be good enough for my wife. Jane was there for me in the toughest moment when I did not feel like my words would reach my wife. After my wife went through my phone, I felt betrayed.
You could have avoided all of that if you would have just talked to your wife instead of talking to somebody outside of your marriage.
Right. That's also not what your wife said. Your wife said that she saw that you guys were almost making fun of her. And you were talking about at what point do you leave her?
Right.
So I believe that you guys had conversations as you just described. I hope you touch on the other things though. Continuing, she had already read my journal, so I had ceased writing in it, and to this day I haven't touched it.
I believe that. Your trust was broken.
Yep.
I would have a real fucking hard time with that.
Oh, yeah. Like that shit would be under lock and key. I do it when you leave the house.
I would just stop journaling.
Yeah.
Yep. That would actually create a much bigger problem than talking to somebody outside of the marriage.
Yeah, journaling is a long-term mental health thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's how I process some of my darkest shit.
Right. Continuing, how could I let it happen to me twice? How could I simply let it slide? What does that mean? What twice? Let what happen?
Maybe her reading her journal again, because that's what she was talking about. So she stopped doing it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. When we talked about it, she said she was insecure. Insecurity is not an excuse to invade privacy. I knew I had to do something other than just say, please come talk to me. Please tell me when you're feeling this way so I can reassure you, etc.
Right. Well, would that have mattered if you were talking to somebody else outside of the marriage and she was like, hey, I feel like you're doing some foul shit? Would you have been honest?
Right.
Or would you have lied about it to not have the fight, to reassure her that everything is great, even though things are not, because you're thinking about leaving and you don't know how to have that conversation? This is why trust is such a vital thing, and once broken, can't be reestablished very easily.
Yes.
Right? Because I read the journal. I knew you were talking and you didn't want to have kids with me anymore. And then I read your messages, and yeah, I broke your trust both of those times, but you were doing foul shit. And I don't trust you anymore either. We just don't trust each other. So like, how do I know that if I came to you with my feelings that you would be honest about it? Because in these moments you were lying by omission and not talking to me. You were being deceitful. Well, you were being a fucking little sneaky sleuth and violated my privacy. Like we're not trusting each other. This is the problem. But there's no way to make that factual. Like changed action has to be a thing. And in this situation, transparency has to be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of we fucked up.
So somebody asked, is snooping justified when you find something?
Nope, it's not. It doesn't matter if you find anything or not, right? Doesn't matter. The fact that you felt you needed to snoop and breach that privacy because you don't trust your person means you don't trust your person.
Right.
I don't care if you find nothing or you find 100 things. The reality is you don't trust your person. I don't understand why that's so hard for people. Because you want to be justified in the fact that you did some foul shit.
Right.
Because they are also doing foul shit.
They want the evidence.
Don't need evidence.
This is the reason I'm upset. And here's the proof.
Yeah, don't need any of that.
Right.
You hide your phone and I don't fucking trust you anymore. Period. I don't need evidence. Because your actions, you look like you're doing some foul shit. I caught your fucking hand in a cookie jar and I don't like that shit. We're on a diet.
Please tell me when you're feeling this way so I can reassure you. This wasn't working, so I found us a new therapist in the early months of 2025. Our new therapist has gently guided us to developing consistent and meaningful communication over the small things, and with our individual therapies, we are steadily working on our inner dialogues that influence how we communicate.
That's awesome, but do you trust each other yet? I'm not saying that you can't ever trust each other again, but this is the road to trust. Effective communication is that road. Changed behavior is that road. Okay.
I think it's dope that they're on that road.
So do I.
Knowing that they're working on their communication and can talk about the small things. When it comes to my brother, I am the eldest of 4. Although I spent much of my life responsible for them, I am closest to my brother that immediately follows me. He is transgender. My parents do not support him, nor do they support me as a lesbian. How has that been left out?
Right. Who gives a shit? What does that matter?
Knowing that the parents don't talk to him because he's transgender, I think is important to know.
Yeah, I don't.
Because the original emailer is talking about how much he can't stand his parents and is still expecting help and all these other kinds of things. And not understanding why the parents aren't present helps me get a better picture of what's going on.
Yeah, well, they helped her even though she was a lesbian.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't matter to me though. You're still a fucking adult.
Right.
You have your own life. So is it actually your brother or is it your sister now? Or was it your sister that's now your brother?
It was sister that's now a brother.
That shit doesn't matter though. That label shit doesn't work with me.
Yeah.
I can't do it because of one of these things. That's bullshit. If you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen.
Yes. I also think that it's stupid that parents won't talk to their kids. Now, if you're obnoxious about it, make people feel like shit about not knowing your new name right away or shaming and guilting and expecting special treatment because you are now going through a transitional period in life. That's a lot. Yeah,
I'm not catering to that either though.
Right. But I'm not going to write my child off because they want to live their life that way.
Right. I agree with that. That's so those parents that do that show you're a reflection of me and you're making me look bad. Right. That's some like real narcissistic shit there. It could also be a religion thing.
It could be.
But like, I don't expect people to cater to me at all. So like, even with my back problems, that's a me problem. I have to work around my life to make my life work. I can't be like, well, you have to do that because I'm hurt. People don't give a fuck that I'm hurt.
Right.
I don't give a fuck that you're transitioning. That's you. That's your problem. That shit has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Figure your shit out. I don't care if that's harsh or not. I don't. You made a decision in life. Whether it's you believe whatever you believe, you still made that choice. If I decided to cut my fucking leg off, that was my choice.
Right.
I won't expect special treatment because of it.
Yeah. I'm here for guiding support.
I'm here to love people for sure.
Understand, appreciate those kinds of things. I'm also not going to sacrifice parts of my life and allow parts of my life to begin to slip.
Right.
And be not okay in order to be that loving, supporting.
Right.
Whatever. It's something we do not talk about. My brother has had a rough time. To briefly sum up his more formative years, instead of getting him a therapist, my parents, likely my pastor father, performed an exorcism on him. When I confronted my mother about it, she had denied it being an exorcism, that it was just a snapshot into life in my parents' home. Oh, this is just a snapshot into life in my parents' home. I'm really sidetracked by the exorcism. I was not expecting that. So if it was a like true full-blown exorcisms are a very not just traumatizing thing to go through. It's a lot for the body and the nervous system.
What's that got to do with him not going to the financial aid office?
I'm more noting on how fucked up it was for the parents.
No,
to do that.
I get that. The parents are really fucked up, but he's an adult now.
Yeah.
You can't blame your parents for everything in your life.
Right.
40, 50 years old, my mom didn't hug me enough. Bitch, you're 50.
Mm-hmm.
You were 19 years old. You got out of that shit.
Yeah.
You escaped your abusers and made it to college. And all you had to do was go to the financial aid office, and you failed to do that. I don't care what happened as a child. Mm-hmm. You were free. You were not June going back to Gilead. Like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah. You know, I would with there needs to be a perspective. I'm away from that.
Right.
And you can't hold against them the things that they've done to fuck you up while simultaneously expecting them to be there for you and support you financially, or
I agree.
All these other kinds of things.
I agree. And you can be doing a whole lot of things to fix your health and your mental health and get all of your fucking life in order while still living as an adult. I've been abused. I don't hold any of my fucked up childhood in my past, even like things that were directly outside of my scope of being a child, and like I could not control my life. This shit happened.
Right.
I've lived my entire life doing what I need to do to make sure that I'm okay. I'm not revisiting that shit and making my life about those bad things. I don't, there's no reason for that.
I agree.
Do the work. Start doing the therapy. He was free. He didn't have to go back to his mom and dad's.
Right.
He could have found somewhere to go for the summer while he was at school if he was working.
Mm-hmm.
Summer vacation could have actually been a vacation.
Right. With him not going to college anymore, this is a shitty situation. By myself, no kids, 19 years old, I'd be working 2 to 3 jobs.
Right. Or selling drugs or.
Right. Doing whatever I could to get the money that I needed to get a place that I can support with one job.
Learn a trade.
Right. The goal is to save up the money that I need to get first class security, and I'm going to live modestly.
I wonder what he's going to college for.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you could have become a big diesel mechanic in 2 years. So by the time he was done with that second year of college, he could have been going to get an actual career.
Right.
Making real fucking money, $100K plus a year.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you going to college for that you needed more than 2 years? Because you're a man. Go get a trade. Go do the hard jobs.
Mm-hmm.
This really is a matter of perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is really how you choose to view your life. You can be the victim or you can be the victor.
It's a good way. I like that. I like those two.
The truth.
It was no surprise to me that he wished to move across the country away from them and have little to no contact with them. Freedom is sweet even when you're not sure what to do with it. I'm all he has left in terms of blood. We do not have any extended family to speak of, and returning to live with my parents has me concerned that he would not make it out. So I'm going to be honest, I'm really hung up. So if you truly feel this way, that something is going to happen, like a self-deletion, or the parents are going to harm him, whatever the case may be, why does your wife shame the parents for not helping him? I would just write that off. If the parents are truly that awful, they're not even a thought anymore.
Well, there's still a thought, obviously, because he has the ability to go back there.
Right.
So him writing them off, it's not that bad if he's willing to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would rather be homeless and eat out of a trash can than fucking go back to my abuser.
Right. 100%.
This is perspective.
I get that there's trauma there, and I get that there might be some trauma bonding there, due to experiencing things in childhood and knowing what it's like to be going against their belief system, it sounds like. So I can see why there's that want to be that net to catch your brother. This would be that situation where there would be a lot of stipulations. If you came to me as my husband and said, my younger brother's got nowhere to go, is about to be homeless, has made a lot of mistakes, and I feel like I am the last resort for him to not be on the streets, it would be, there's like a 3 months max. And if I see him lounging in the yard for 8 hours a day and having girls come in and out of the property and not doing things that need to be done to get to where he needs to go and not living here anymore, then that's going to be shortened.
I wouldn't even give him 3 months.
Yeah.
I'd give him 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't charge him rent to be here. You got 2 months to get on your feet. At the end of 2 months, you got to go. I understand that you're in a really shitty situation right now, but it's not my duty to take care of you.
I agree with the no rent thing.
Or just loan him the fucking money to get first, last, and security to get their own place.
Yeah, that
Because
would be
that's
less inconvenient.
Right? That might put us in a financial bind for a couple months, but I can make more money.
Mm-hmm.
He was free.
Yeah.
Moved away and was free from his abusers and did not do due diligence to make sure that he was on top of his shit
To not have to
go back and is now relying on other people. I still stand by this. This was a decision, whether it was pure laziness, whether it was lack of information, whatever the case was, it was a decision that was made. This is nobody's fault but his own. And if he was truly free and truly happy to be free, you think that you would stay on top of all of your shit to make sure you never have to go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, Jenny said, I mean, if you're that worried about that he couldn't get a place to rent because of credit, could he not get a guarantee, or is that not a thing in the US? If my brother had fucked up credit, was on his own and needed a place to stay, I would co-sign.
Yeah.
I would be willing to fuck my credit up before I fuck up my household.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very big difference.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things that there are places that you can rent all over the United States where you can have bad credit and still get an apartment.
Oh yeah.
Section 8's a thing, HUD, there's a whole lot of things out there that could do. You just got to find it. But I would rather co-sign and destroy my credit than have somebody fuck my marriage up. That's not even a question to me.
That feels good.
It's the reality of the situation. Yeah. This is a priority to me over everything else in my life.
We are unsure that he will need to live with us, but he is my family as much as my wife.
No, it's not as much as your wife. He is your blood relative and your wife is your chosen family. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You said, till death do us part in sickness and health, for better or worse. You guys are ride or die.
Right.
Your brother is a grown man who's making fucked up decisions about his life and is expecting other people to take care of him.
Mm-hmm. Continuing, I cannot abandon him like the rest of my family has. They do not reach out to him. They do not know where he stays. And quite frankly, they do not care. When my wife and I discussed it, I admit I got angry for the first time. I could not believe that she so heartily believed that some people just need to fall on their ass and would apply that to a 19-year-old kid, much less my brother.
He's not a kid. And it doesn't matter if it's your brother or not. He's a 19-year-old man who fucked up his life because he didn't do due diligence to get to where he needed to go. He was free. He had college. All he had to do was go to the financial aid office, fill out the fucking paperwork, and continue doing what he needed to do.
Yeah.
His parents will scoop in and save him. You'll scoop in and save him. And because he's got rescuers, he will never have to do what he needs to do to be a fucking adult. The reality is if this was somebody else, you wouldn't be as butthurt about it. You're as butthurt about it as it is because this is your brother and you think he's different than everybody else on the planet. Somebody in the chat said that co-signing would also destroy a marriage in some cases. You're right, it would. And if that was the case, you wouldn't co-sign. You would find a way to maybe persuade them to join the military.
Right.
Or find a job where there's on apartment complex maintenance where you get a free apartment for part of your salary. There are other things that you can do. Fucking buy a used van.
Yeah. You
got 2 weeks to build this van out. Here's 10 grand.
Doesn't Job Corps also offer on-site housing while you're training?
I don't know about Job Corps. I don't know anything about Job Corps. Only thing I know about trade schools are like Votex and shit like that.
She saw me angry for the first time. I raised my voice for the first time. I do not like that. She will tell you that I am often even-keeled, patient, and calm when we argue. I have since developed a plan in case he needs our help, but only time will tell. I have not asked her to reconsider in light of her desire to explore her feelings on her own.
I love that. She's put a plan together and him moving in is not an option. Is that what that said? Like, is that, did I understand that properly?
That's not what I got from that.
Can you read it again then? Because I may have misunderstood it.
I have since developed a plan in case he needs our help, but only time will tell. I have not asked her to reconsider in light of her desire to explore her feelings on her own. I only asked to understand her motivations. Okay,
so maybe I'm wrong then. Devised a plan made it sound like she's going to help him in other ways versus having him move in.
Oh, I don't know. My brother is an otherwise quiet man. He does not like to be a burden and will keep to himself if he feels like he is. I do not intend to make my wife take on the responsibility of my brother. Ultimately, I do not wish to take away his autonomy. He is still an adult despite being ill-equipped. I want to point out that you called him a 19-year-old kid and an adult.
Yep.
Within the same few paragraphs. So
it's because one fits the narrative of one direction and this one fits the narrative in another direction. This is why people don't like me being direct.
Right.
Because it's very easy to sugarcoat things when you're talking about the people you love or talking to the people you love versus just being honest.
Continuing.
Yep.
I take the MCAT again in September and I intend to apply to medical school for the class of 2027. I cannot afford to help my brother monetarily then, as I will be operating on a reduced pay for 4 years. We will be moving at the end of this year. We will need all the money we can accrue in order to make that cross-country move. There are many decisions that may need to be made, but it is too early to make them with little guidance. I do not know how long my brother would need to stay. I do not know if he will need our help. Right now, all I can do is wait and see. Despite my frustration, I'm glad that my wife brought her feelings to me. This is a step in the right direction in conversation that must be had.
I agree. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, wife emailer, since I don't know your name. If your wife said, I don't want your brother to move in, would you destroy your marriage for your brother? If your wife said that this is an absolute no, that if he moves in here, it will 100% destroy our marriage, would you still move him in?
That's a good question.
It is.
I also feel like it's a possibility of him moving in anyway.
It sounds like it.
And that may not have been thought about yet. The real possibility of that being a thing. It is a step in the right direction and conversation that must be had. I look forward to a continued discussion and hopefully we can come to a compromise.
What does a compromise look like to you? Because you don't have the finances to give him.
Right.
You're on a reduced income for the next 4 years.
Will be. Starting in 2027.
Will be, right. And you're moving across the country and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
What does that compromise look like? Because looking for a compromise means that maybe you want 1 month of helping him or 2 months of him helping. You know what I mean? Whereas she doesn't want him there at all. If she bends and allows him to be there, she's the one that's compromising.
Right.
Not you. Because you're still getting your way and helping him and letting him be there, knowing how your wife is going to feel about it.
Continuing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should end this by saying thanks. You both have definitely opened both of our eyes to issues that we have stifled in order to keep the peace.
Well, you're welcome, but you're not going to like this episode.
Yeah.
And
None of this was said with ill intent.
No, not at all. I'm not trying to be nasty. This is the reality of things. And like bringing up, there was things that were brought up in there that doesn't matter to me at all and doesn't change the view of things. It's just filler information, like the whole trans thing.
Yeah.
I don't see how that's even remotely important to his decisions as an adult.
I think it's less about his decisions as an adult and more...
It explains the trauma.
Right. I mean, it explains the trauma. It also explains why...
He doesn't like the parents.
Why he doesn't like the parents. It also explains to me why there is a lack of adulting happening.
Wait, why is that?
Because if there is a stunted mindset, say he came out at 14 as transgender, and then that's when all of that, the exorcism happened and all of that trauma took place, I would expect him to act like a 14-year-old.
Forever?
Not forever, just until all of that is processed and there is a recognition of I'm not 14 anymore, I'm now a grown man.
And so where does that recognition come in? If he fails college and somebody picks him back up and he doesn't have to live his life like an adult.
Right, no, I don't think that's facing it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, where does that come in?
That comes in when you recognize that the choices that you made got you to where you are. And while you're living in the past in your mind, trying to cope with something or deal with something or not unalive yourself because you can't stop thinking about that one thing, you are not paying attention to the decisions that you're making. And when there is a lack of effort, that's still going to have fallout in your life, like the lack of effort of not going to the financial aid office.
Right. I know that people get stunted growth as trauma hits, which means I am a stunted growth person because I had a whole lot of trauma in my childhood. I couldn't go rob a bank do my time and go expect to get a fucking job in finances.
Right.
That was my decision to rob that bank. I fucked up the rest of my life over it. I can't blame my fucked up childhood over me robbing the bank. I did that shit. This is the extreme ownership and extreme accountability in all this. I have no tolerance for that conversation. And that could be a weakness or a flaw in me because it shows a lack of empathy or compassion because somebody went through something. We've all been through something.
Right.
All of us. The difference is most of us don't expect the world to cater to us because we had some traumatic shit happen to us. Most of us realize that nobody's coming to save us and that this is our life to live and we have to fucking provide and do for our own. The more people have, they're picking them up and here, let me help you. Here, let me help you. Here, let me do it for you. The less likely they are to ever go and live their life the way they're supposed to be. We know people who are in their 30s that are still fucking living off of their parents.
Yeah.
I would rather be homeless in a car eating out of a garbage can than fucking ask my family for something. I'm not asking for anyone for anything, period.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm going to have to be in a really, really desperate spot to ask for anything. I would rather pay you to do something or figure out a way to do it on my own. Like, I don't want anybody to dangle shit over my head. Well, I helped you out once. Like, and maybe that's trauma because that's something that I've experienced in life. But I have a whole lot of pride in knowing that I can fucking take care of me and you and the kids and all of these other things and other people in our lives because of the decisions that I've made and continue to make every day.
Right.
I can be like, well, you know, my life is really hard because I was abused as a child. Do you feel sympathy for me with everything that we've got because I had a bad childhood? I fucking hope not. Because my bad childhood got me to where I am and I'm a dope motherfucker. I love my life.
I mean, when we have conversations, there is a sympathy that happens because I hate that you went through that as a child, but I'm not gonna, when I look at our house, I don't think about your childhood trauma.
Right.
I think about the memories that we've made here and coming home from vacations, conversations we were able to work through.
I'm not mad about my childhood.
Yeah.
At all. I would go through all of it all over again if I knew that this is where I would get in life. I'd go through worse.
Yeah.
I don't know how much worse it could get. Right? I really don't. But I would have gone through worse to get to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
That shit happened. Bad things happen to people all the fucking time.
Right.
It's a mindset though. You can be a victim or you can be a victor. I own my life. Like,
overcome that shit. Hey guys, little quick interruption. If you're enjoying the content, please leave a like. And also don't forget to comment. We enjoy interacting with you guys and hearing your opinions, and it helps the algorithm.
It's also free to do. And if you really want to help make sure the show continues to do, hit the subscribe button and share the content across your social medias. It costs you nothing and it greatly helps the show.
I don't have anything else.
I don't either. We've been 2 hours on this, so.
Okay, I'm done. I need to stretch my body in.
Mine too.
I want to get something to eat.
I keep finding myself doing this.
Yeah. Oh
well,
my goodness.
That's so professional. Paint me like one of your French girls, Jack.
Stop it! Put it away!
I hate it. And every time...
You fucking slut.
Every time I get comfortable, I look up and I'm like, I gotta sit up. This sucks. I miss the big, round, comfy couches.
No, you do not.
I do. Those were...
We got them out. He's like, I hate these things so much.
I did because I had to climb into it. I couldn't just sit on it.
Oh, I could take a nap in those things.
Right. But how unprofessional did that podcast look?
I thought it looked great.
We were lounging the whole time.
Yeah. You guys, did you enjoy that setup? I felt good. I had pillows and a blankie.
Zach said screen recording successful. Vibe said he liked the bookshelves the best. So the studio was what you liked the best. My favorite was when we were in Little Miss's room and we had the live stream computers on one part of the room. And then that was where Zach had come to the house for the first time. And we had a little
setup to record.
Yeah. Us sitting in those chairs, like one chair this way and one chair that way. And that was my favorite setup.
Yeah. It looked good. That was the Itchy Sternum location.
Zach said, I like the kitchen table. We actually just bought a kitchen table. I got rid of my poker table. We have a kitchen table coming.
I'm so excited about that. It's been 3 years.
Yeah, it has been.
Since we've had a kitchen table. Very excited for that. Very excited to decorate it and have meals there with the children and friends if they want to come over and family. Things.
And we're building out the man cave as a room so that we can host guests, which will be pretty cool. So let's wrap up.
Fantastic. Are you hungry?
I'm a little bit. I think I'm
right.
ready to actually eat a real meal today.
Bye, guys. Love you.
We have to actually wrap up. We have to outro.
Okay.
We also have to do an intro for the live recordings that we did at the retreat.
Let's do that another day.
Okay. With that being said, guys, remember you are the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.